Greg Gutfeld. I was trying to avoid talking about this.
Right.
I try and avoid talking about this stuff, especially when it's someone who, I've personally known, had a relationship with.
GG.
But this was making the rounds, Greg Gutfeld saying that he was glad Chauvin was found guilty on all counts, even if he wasn't guilty on all counts.
Yeah.
And so I initially read it. And I said, and people were jumping on him. And I said, look, I haven't seen the whole clip. I know he can be sarcastic. So it was probably taken out of context. And I know Ben Shapiro said that he screwed up. Other people were talking about it. I said, look, this is one of those things. Are people just not understanding the sarcasm? And I want to be clear here. So I wanted to give him the benefit of the doubt because on a personal level, I know that I've spent time with Greg Gutfeld. Not a huge fan. Not a man known to be of the. He's very much a quisling for the higher ups. Will say whatever he needs to say to be paid, and probably the biggest gossip I've ever known. So even then, you've never heard me say anything because I've just tried to remove myself.
Yeah.
But here is the clip from Greg Gutfeld in its entire context, and it doesn't get better.
That was what was creating the perception of division. Everybody agreed this case was disgusting and ugly and there should be justice. But there was another story being played a lot. And now I'm going to just get really selfish. I'm glad that he was found guilty on all charges.
Yeah.
Even if he might not be guilty of all charges.
Oh, my God.
I am glad that he is guilty of all charges because I want a verdict that keeps this country from going up in flames.
Oh, my goodness.
No.
What do you mean?
Look, Greg, listen.
What do you mean? No, I'm at least being honest. My neighborhood was looted. I don't ever want to go through that again.
We do not sacrifice individuals for the sake
I'm
of
saying he's
how
guilty.
people
I'm
feel.
saying I'm glad about the verdict.
Okay, but the bottom line is
You can't disagree.
that courtroom is a place where the evidence is brought in. It is pristine in terms of the way it's handled. Everything outside of the courtroom does not enter it.
Okay. Whoa. Did you wait a second? Did you hear what Mike Tobin said when he was interviewing some people when they said, hey, we're not going to loot tonight, we're going to celebrate? We were dealing with what we thought was a sense of extortion, that if this didn't go a certain way, I'm speaking the truth. If it didn't go a certain way, there was going to be destruction. We know that. Why pretend otherwise?
Right.
So,
come on.
Everything that he just said, we all agree with. He's talking about, well, listen, I'm just being honest, the threat of the mob. The reason people are outraged is because the truth then leads to his conclusion, which is cowardice.
Yeah.
That's the issue. All those things can be true. The mob, right? People saying that this city was going to burn. You watch them on CNN saying you could cut the tension with a knife. Everything that he just said was accurate. Now, a man would say, and we need to do the right thing. Now, he seems to think that Chauvin was entirely guilty. He said he doesn't know anyone who doesn't think that Chauvin deserved that verdict.
Yeah. Again,
this is an issue of being in New York City, being out of touch. Keep in mind that a lot of these people at Fox News, a lot of these even conservative pundits at the other networks, they choose to live in New York City, and they are somewhat out of touch. I know plenty of people who think that Derek Chauvin didn't deserve anything, and I know plenty of people who thought he deserved manslaughter, but it was an unfortunate situation. I know people like Dave Landau. Greg knows no one who thought that this was maybe not justice being carried out, and he doesn't care as long as he gets his. Truth, and then conclusion determined by cowardice. That's why people are outraged, just to be clear. That's why people are upset. And I'm not outraged. I just think it's sad.
Yeah. Well,
I think it's sad. I wouldn't want to be that guy's wife.
He set it up terribly. He said, I don't care whether he's guilty or not. I'm glad that he was. I mean, that should stop you in your tracks. What if you're on trial, Greg? And
I'm just being honest.
I know. It's like, now you're saying that.
He's the toady from Christmas Story.
His retort is like, come on.
When Scud Farkas tells you to come, you better come. Right, Roger Ailes? Oh, he's not here anymore. Right. Please keep me employed.
Oh, yeah. It's just the absolute wrong way of thinking, because now you've put the mob more in control of everything, right? So whatever keeps them appeased is okay now.
Yeah.
Well, and Gerald's right. When you see the beginning of the clip, he does say that, but then he ends up saying, "Oh no, it's because I think he was guilty." He's just covering his ass. He doesn't think that. Yeah, it's very obvious to see his mind working to that. And it's
tough to know.
I've never met the man. I've done plenty of stuff for Fox, but I've never had the honor.
It's tough to know because he very much it's like you see there. You can see him trying to make sure he fits in with enough of the cool kid.
Yeah.
That determines his opinion. No. I think he's guilty once he feels enough pushback.
Yeah, they tried that. They tried that on election night.
Yeah.
Worked out.
Worked like a charm.
Watch Louder with Crowder live Monday through Thursday, 10 a.m. Eastern.